Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another First Impressions video. In today's First Impressions video, we are taking a look at the Spiritus Systems Bank Robber Chest Rig. And before we get this video started, as always guys, I wanted to let you know the ways that you can support the channel. That would be by heading down to that description and clicking on any of those links. They will bring you to other social media pages for the channel, and they will also bring you to websites where you can actually support what I do, and any of that is really greatly appreciated. Of course, to help defeat the YouTube algorithms that really suck for gun content, hit that subscribe button on the channel, comment down below, let me know what you think of the video, let me know what I can do better, and hit the like button. All of that stuff really does help, and I can't thank you guys enough. I just recently picked up this Spiritus Systems chest rig. I generally am the person that is running a plate carrier at the range. I'm kind of the weirdo of the group because for whatever reason, a lot of the time I find the actual plate carriers that I wear a little bit more comfortable on the body than different chest rigs. Now, this really depends on the chest rig, and obviously what is not more comfortable about a plate carrier is the added weight. But just something about taking up more area on your chest and back. It almost feels like it's more supported and more stable. These chest rigs tend to feel a little bit like I got some weird thong or G-string wrapped around my body. So with that being said, I have stayed away from a lot of different chest rigs. I saw that the Bank Robber rig was in stock, and as of this video, I know things are ridiculous to find right now, but as of this video, this rig is in stock in black for $49.99. Now, the one downfall about the Bank Robber chest rig is that it is not going to come with any straps at all. It is just going to come with the rig itself, and you're going to have to buy either the standard shoulder straps or the fat straps, which I would recommend. Those are the ones that I have here. And of course, you will also need to buy the back strap. If I remember right, the rig actually does come with the buckles necessary to clip onto the straps, and the straps themselves have the male buckles included with them. The Bank Robber chest rig is designed to be incredibly low profile. You can see that this is just an elastic rig, and that is it. There is no molly, there is nothing else on here. And the main thing that drew me to this is having the elastic shells, because generally when it comes to these elastic shells, you can run a wide variety of different magazines to a point. Pretty much anything that is not a larger battle rifle cartridge like 308 will fit into these. And we're going to get into that in a little bit, because the other main reason why I wanted to go with this chest rig was to see how it would run with standard 7.62 by 39 AK mags. So far in this First Impressions video, I have tried it with Mini 14 mags at the range, standard AR 5.56 mags at the range. You can see I have tested it with a variety of standard GI aluminum mags, Lancer mags, and also Magpul mags. All of those work just fine. It is so low profile, it goes incredibly well in your EDC bag. So there's many people out there that carry a large frame pistol like an AR pistol or an AK pistol or something like that in a bag for their everyday carry to give you a little bit more firepower aside from your standard everyday carry handgun. What I like about this is that you don't have a bunch of extra stuff on here, and I can literally just fold like a taco these mags up, wrap the straps around it, and just shove it right in my backpack. The Bank Robber chest rig is also going to come with these two shock cords on the side. These, to me, do serve a little bit of a purpose if you did want to run tourniquets or something like that. I've heard a couple of other people mention that you can hold like water bottles and stuff in these, and I just call BS on that. The shock cords are good, but there is a point to how much they're actually going to hold. And at first, at the range day, I had them installed and I wasn't holding anything in them. I learned real quickly that that wasn't going to work, because when I pulled my far mag, the upper part of the shock cord pulled out with it. And you guys will see in that video, I had to just throw it on the ground and continue reloading the Mini 14 at that point. What I did to alleviate that problem is when I am not running anything in the shock cord, I just simply looped it through the back strap, and that is actually holding the shock cord in place. So that way it's there if I need it, but for most of the time when I don't need it, you can just go ahead and buckle it through and it's not going to come out on you. Ultimately, I may end up just taking both of these out because they don't really serve a huge purpose for me. This is such a low pro carrier that if it was in the fall, winter, whatever, a little bit of a chilly day, anything, even to the point of a button-down flannel or a hoodie or anything like that, could slip over the top of this, and you would have no idea you have 4 extra mags on your person. Of course, when you go with the fat straps, you will also have some attachment points up on the top of the straps. This is for really whatever you would like to put up here. You can see I'm going with a complete low pro setup, so I have nothing up here, but you could put small chem lights, a knife, anything that you want to up in those sections. It's really a personal preference. As far as comfort at the range, I did notice a few things. There is going to be a lot of adjustment with this chest rig, and I have gotten nowhere near to perfecting the comfort for me. You really have to play around with the straps. You have a lot of extra adjustment space back here that Spiritus Systems gave you to adjust to exactly what you are wearing, exactly your body size, and you're going to have to play around with it quite a bit. I found that a lot of the time when I adjusted the straps, it was either way too high, way too low. It was tough for me to get it right in the middle. And for me, I think it was riding just a little bit low for me at the range day, because what was happening is when I would bend down or go to grab something, the mags would be pinching my stomach right around my belt line. It just wasn't super comfortable. And that is where, again, in my opinion, actually the standard plate carrier, the Spiritus System Slickster or an HRT, is going to be almost more comfortable because it rides properly where it should. But with a little bit more adjustment, I'm sure I could get that a little bit higher. The other thing is this has now seen 2 range days. The first range day, I was wearing a really bulky hoodie. This fit great. No comfort problems, pinching, nothing like that. I took the hoodie off at the next range day and fitment was totally off. The straps were falling off one side of my shoulder. When you adjust this thing, you really have to think about the climate, what you have on in that day. Do you have a big bulky jacket that you're going to want to put this over? Are you wearing just a really thin t-shirt? All those things are really going to matter when it comes to adjustment. So definitely play around with that at the house. You're probably going to have to spend a good amount of time getting that perfect. And once you do, it should run really, really nicely for you. Now, the other thing when it comes to just overall comfort, I did not like the fact that when you bend over to grab something, because of where the straps actually connect to the plate carrier, I will probably be able to show you guys this on camera, but when you pick these straps up, it tends to want to droop this way. So your mags want to pull away from your body. So when I would bend down to get something, the mags weren't falling out. They have really good retention still. I just don't like the feeling of them kind of like drifting forward, almost like they're going to turn upside down. I found that even with the back strap tight, it still wanted to droop forward, because what would happen when I would bend down is the shoulder straps would obviously shrink a little bit and give it a little bit more slack, and it had room to move. This definitely happened a lot less with standard 5.56 AR mags, which this is really designed for. With AK mags, they did stick out quite a bit higher, and this was a lot more dramatic. They would fall forward. Still, they would not fall out of the chest rig, but it is a little bit more of an uncomfortable feeling when they're flopping all over the place. Speaking of AK mags, this will work for standard 7.62x39 AK mags. Actually, for a while, I have been running this as my EDC chest rig for my M92 Yugo AK pistol with 4 Bulgarian Circle 10 standard fully loaded 30-round magazines. What you are going to get with the AK mags is actually a relatively good fit. You can see compared to the AR mags, they're going to sit at about the same height. The only thing that is a little bit different is on the bottom, it doesn't really fit quite as well, again, because it's not necessarily designed for AK mags, with this retaining strap underneath here. You can see it does put a lot of pressure just in one spot. Where this could cause an issue is over time, obviously you're probably going to start wearing there a lot harder than you would with standard AR mags. The other spot I was getting pretty worried about with AK mags was when I was ripping the mag out for the video for a reload or something like that. You have your rear locking tab on the AK mag, and that is just, I mean, you can see it right there. It is like cutting into that elastic fabric, and I really think it's going to give a hell of a lot of wear to this stitching that's on the inside of each elastic panel. I think that is going to probably cause issues over time, but my plan is to just keep running these AK mags in and just see how much this chest rig can take. I really think, considering my other Spiritus Systems products that I have, that it's going to hold up incredibly well. It is only 49 bucks on their website, so it's not like you're spending a couple $100s on this chest rig, so I'm not too terribly upset if it does end up falling apart within a year because of the AK mags, but I will report back to you guys in the full review with this chest rig on how it's holding up with running a lot of different AK mags through them. Of course, 545 mags will still fit just fine, but you still are going to have that rear locking tab issue. It is just going to be really sharp, and no matter what you do, that's going to really wear on that elastic material a good bit. Of course, for the majority of people, you are going to be running standard 556 AR mags, and if that's the case, you're going to have none of those wearing problems. I'm sure this chest rig is going to last a very, very long time for you. Of course, the pouches, since they're not designed for anything too specific, you could put a wide variety of different things in there. If you don't need all 4 mags and you'd rather have a small IFAK, you could definitely do that there. I did find that the overall strap system with the fat strap and the standard back strap actually felt a lot tighter and more comfortable on the Micro Fight rig than it did the bank robber rig. So that is something to consider. Again, I think it all has to do with the adjustment of the straps, but because this is so much more tight against your body and close together as far as where the buckles are, it was a lot easier to just get this right where it needed to be, and there wasn't as much slop of this falling all over the place. Now, Spiritus Systems does sell standard straps that are more of an X-harness shape. This is really a big personal preference. For me, I do like the H-harness setup, which this is with the fat straps. One, because the fat straps do disperse the weight just a little bit more evenly on your shoulders, which is nice. The smaller straps may cut into you, they may not. It all depends on how heavy of a chest rig you're running. But the other thing is that in a fast situation, you can get this on generally a little bit quicker than the X harness, which may get tangled up in the bag. With this, I mean, I could really just throw the H harness over my head, get it on, and it's really not going to be too secure without the back strap. But I do keep this back strap clipped all the way on from one side to another for that reason. If I have to get this on quick and I don't have time to buckle the back strap, this thing's not going to be flailing around, flying all over the place. It's still going to be somewhat secure as long as I'm standing with just throwing this over my head, and then when I get a second, I can unclip this, loop it around, and clip it back on. I don't think the fat straps are too much extra money, and it probably would be worth it. The one downfall, and this is going to go the same for the bank robber rig, the accessory straps, everything, it is so stupidly hard to find this stuff in stock these days. I found that Spiritus Systems is actually a lot better than other companies as far as availability, and they are definitely getting better as time moves on here in 2021. So just stay aware on their website that you might be waiting to find the color that you want in stock or something like that, and you may have to go with kind of a mismatched setup in order to get something that's going to work well for you. All my other overt gear is multicam. It's just, I don't know, a little bit of an OCD thing because now everything's multicam, so I might as well stick with it. But with this, I would have definitely much preferred a black or a gray or even a black multicam to have it be a lot more low profile. But overall, for the price point and how low profile this rig is, I really do enjoy it. That is going to wrap up this first impressions video on the Spiritus Systems Bank Robber Chest Rig. If you guys have any other questions about this chest rig in particular or anything else on the channel, you guys know by now, throw those comments down below and I absolutely will get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description and check out the links to the Firearm Freedom Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram account. I have content coming out over there that you guys are not going to want to miss. As always, thank you so much for watching and stay tuned for more great videos to come soon.